Ugh. I do not have... Okay, I do have a little bit of OCD, but I don't have that much OCD. I am willing to just work within the limits of the practical. I'm not happy about having to work within the limits of the practical, but I am willing to do so because going more precise than that is a pain in the ass, which I am not going to if I went for the level of perfection that I actually want, then I would never get anything done. With this whole streaming thing that I've been doing for the last month, one of my main priorities was to explicitly prevent myself from engaging in eternal tweaking, because I know for a fact that once I start getting into the mood of trying to tweak things to make them perfect, I will never stop. And I will spend so much fucking time on that it will prevent me from actually doing what I'm actually wanting to do. I'll just be tweaking settings forever. Like, you know why I stopped streaming Dark Souls? Do you know why I stopped streaming Dark Souls, Maru? Back in the day? I will tell you why I stopped streaming Dark Souls. It is because every time I streamed Dark Souls, I would then go through afterward and adjust the audio levels and everything to make, like, my voice and the game audio and the Discord audio of you guys balanced and all that, so that everything would be audible and clean. Because at the time I did not really know what I was doing with the microphone, and as a result, my audio levels were all over the fucking place when I actually streamed. So I would then go through afterwards and tweak everything in order to make it nice and audible afterwards. And that would frequently take hours. It would often take hours of audio editing to make it sound good in Audacity. And that was just a huge pain in the ass that every time I streamed, I was like, oh god, I'll have to do this shit afterwards. And that just was not comfortable for me. And it was like, ugh. Well, it was just not fun. And that was just because of my OCD-ishness. So, when I decided to start streaming again last month, I don't know. So when I decided to start streaming last month, I decided, you know what? I'm going to learn how to use all these audio processing tools in order to actually fix my audio so that I don't have to do that. That was one of the things I decided to do. The other thing I decided to do was I very specifically decided to only record a single audio track. I was not going to record the game and my voice to separate audio tracks. I was going to just record a single audio track. And if the audio is fucked up, so be it. Try again next time. And in deciding to do that, I was explicitly preventing myself from going OCD and redoing the audio mixing. Because I knew that if I started doing that, I would start hating doing streaming again. And I would want to stop. So I am forcing myself to not do the parts of streaming that I don't want to do. Because I know that if I don't force myself to not do those things, then I will do them, and I will hate it. Because I know me. I know my own bullshit. And that is why I now have a really fucking weird audio pre-processing pipeline before the microphone audio even reaches OBS, to make sure that I don't have to do that. To make sure that the microphone, which I have iterated on this basically after every stream a little bit, but the point is that it doesn't have to, I don't have to do editing after the fact now. The audio leveling is all automatically handled for me, and I don't have to do annoying mixing bullshit in Audacity after the fact anymore. Because, yeah. And, with several weeks of trial and error, I have arrived at an audio mixing setup which I think works very well. Like, my voice is nicely audible over the game. My voice is also at a nice, even volume, even though I'm not talking at an even volume because I do not have the training or experience to talk at an even volume. I got rid of all the background noise of fans and shit, because I have a denoiser. Another problem that I was having with my audio setup initially, sorry, hold on. Another issue that I was having with my audio setup initially for a while, well, one of the reasons why I even had to go on this journey of figuring out audio fucking bullshit was because, for some reason that I have not been able to figure out, every single microphone in this room, every single one of them, and I don't know why, they pick up a strange hump at, let me pull this up here. Let me see if this shows up. What the fuck is this hump at? It looks like it's centered on around like 25 hertz, but it's big. It's like higher than my voice is a lot of the time. What is this? Every microphone in this room picks it up, but I cannot hear it, and it eats up a ton of headroom in my audio. It eats up a ton of headroom. So in order to get rid of that, the first thing I do when my microphone comes in to my audio setup, first thing I do is I apply multiple high-pass filters. I chain 4 of them together to make sure I suppress everything in that like sub 100 hertz band, because frequencies below 100 hertz don't really do anything for your voice anyway. They don't do anything useful for recreating voices. I also cut out the frequencies above 10 kilohertz, because also they don't do anything useful for your voice, for recording voice. The human voice is pretty much entirely between 100 hertz and 10 kilohertz. In fact, you can get away with between 100 hertz and 4 kilohertz if you really want to. It's not a good idea. It's going to sound like shit, but you can. That's what telephones do. They cut out everything above 4 kilohertz. Actually, they cut out everything above... A lot of them cut out everything above 3 kilohertz. Anyway. So that's the first thing I do. I have my microphone set to a low gain. In fact, I have it set to... I have it set to... I have it set to no gain at all. I have it set to 0 decibels. And that gets rid of all the crap. And then I cut out the high and low frequencies. And then after I've cut out the high and low frequencies, then I actually like amplify it after I've bandpassed it to get rid of that stuff, which I don't know what it is. I can't hear it, but it's eating up valuable headroom. After I cut out those frequencies, then I amplify it and denoise it and apply compressors and limiters and all that stuff to then make it like an even volume, so that no matter how loud or quiet I start talking, my voice comes through the same volume on stream. So I have to do all that just to do this, and then I have other stuff. Like then I actually apply audio a compressor to the game's audio as well, so that no matter how loud or quiet the game is, it comes out to the same volume, roughly. And then I also have a ducker installed. I also have used a ducker as well, so that whenever I'm talking, the game gets about 6 decibels quieter, just to make sure that there's never going to be any audibility issues. And it took me a few weeks to work that out. A lot of my earlier streams had problems with that still. Like my Sonic Adventure stream especially was really bad. No, Sonic Adventure stream wasn't the worst one. The worst one was the Rogue Squadron stream. That one, the volume is bad, because Rogue Squadron is really loud. And not only that, but another thing that I did not know... One thing that I found out, one thing I did not find out until recently, because I was having problems with the Star Fox stream when I streamed Star Fox Assault. It turns out that, because silly me thought that 100% volume would be 0 decibels, would be no gain. Because that would make sense. You would think that 100% volume is 100%. But no, 100% volume on my capture card, 100% volume on my capture card is actually 10 decibels up. 10 decibels of amplification. Which, so yeah, it started clipping, because, of course it did. Because the capture card was amplifying the gain by 10 decibels. Which was, of course that was going to clip. So I had to, and I did not know that until I found out you can actually right-click on these volume controls and change them from showing percentage to showing decibels. And once I found that out, I was like, oh wow, these things are not set how I wanted them to be. So actually, make sure these are set to decibels and not percent, so you can actually see what they're doing. Make sure that you set it to decibels so you can see what they're actually doing. Anyway, once I fixed that fixed audio capture, finally. Because, yeah, turns out 100% is actually... Because turns out it's actually 67 that is 0 dB of amplification. Not 100. 67. I'm not going to do the meme. Fuck you. Anyway, that's the bullshit that I've learned recently regarding audio and my very expensive Magewell capture card. Normally expensive. I didn't pay a lot of money for it, but normally they're expensive. I got mine for dirt cheap on eBay because I think the person who was selling it just wanted to get rid of the fucking thing. Anyway, point is, you gotta know what your equipment is doing, and you gotta look at what your equipment is doing in order to figure out what to do, in order to get all that stuff done. Now, actually, you can do that entire audio processing setup in Audacity. However, I decided to do it in an external program and then throw it into Audacity via a virtual audio cable, because I wanted to use it not just for Audacity. After I figured out how to make my microphone, like, behave, like, after I figured out how to filter all the crap out of my microphone, I was like, I want to use this for everything. This is great. So I did it in a separate program, and then I used a virtual audio cable as an output for that, so I can use it as an input for everything, like Discord, everything else. And yeah, there's still going to be situations where that's not necessarily a good idea, like if I'm recording something in Audacity and I want to actually, like, manually adjust things after the recording. But for the most part, it makes sense to do it this way for me. Hollow's on, Bucks. But yeah, I have no idea what that 25 hertz peak is in the audio. It's constant. It's quite loud. It's inaudible. Every microphone picks it up. It could be anything, really, because my house sounds resonate really, really good in this house. And by really, really good, I mean really, really annoyingly. Like, I can regularly hear, like, people on the other side of this house walking around, like, when I have the doors closed and everything. Like, this whole time I've been streaming, I've been hearing people walking around downstairs. It's bad. I can hear everything. Yeah, every last little thing resonates in this house. And I think replacing the carpet with hardwood in this room probably made it worse. I might put a rug down at some point just to see if I can do something about that, you know? Luna, ban that guy.